Now I want to go through exercise 2.3. As usual, I'm just going to go through level 2 questions. So if you read the questions, it says that by completing the squares, solve the following equations and give your answer correct to 3SF. So this gives you a clue that if you were to try to solve this by any other method, for example, by the factorization method that you have already learned, you are not able to give a correct answer because it's not going to give you 3SF figures. So in order to solve all these equations, the best way would be to complete the square, which is faster than plotting a graph and is definitely more accurate than plotting a graph. Question 6a. Okay, we'll start with the easy one. So for part A, you're given x squared plus 18x equals to 13. So you know that we don't touch the constant first. We want to complete the square. As usual, this x squared, okay, if you want to factorize it, definitely there's going to be x here. And this 18x, okay, we just got to half this 18, you get 9. So if you're not convinced, you can expand this. What is x plus 9 squared? Okay, so we go backwards. X plus 9 squared, expand this, we get a squared plus 2ab, which is because of the 2ab, that's how you get 18x. See, I get back my x squared plus 18x. But don't forget, there's this one last constant term plus b squared, right? A squared plus 2ab plus b squared, which is 81. Now, this is the 81 that you don't want. So you minus away 81 here because it's not supposed to exist. This 81 shouldn't exist in the first place. So you have 8 plus 81 here. You minus away 81. There's no more 81. So now we move all the constant term to one side. This is slightly different from factorization in the sense that you don't want a 0 on one side. You just want to move every constant term to the other side. So this minus 81 move over become plus 81. Okay, so x plus 9 squared is equal to 94. So x plus 9, let's square root both sides because I don't want this square now, I want square both sides. My ultimate aim is to find x. So this is almost like what we learned in Sec 2, make x the subject of formula. So I remove this square first by square rooting on both sides. So I have square root 94 or x plus 9 is equals to negative square root 94. Then my x, okay, finally my x is now the subject of formula. I have square root 94 minus away 9 or x is equal to negative square root 94 minus 9. And now they want in 3SF, so you just have to punch this in your calculator. Square root 94 minus 9 is equal to 0.695 3SF. And the other answer would be negative 18.72 3SF. One of the mistakes that student will make will be, oh, okay, this is positive 0.695. So I just put this is equals to negative 0.695. Please take note. You still have to key this in your calculator to get the answer. Let's look at question D. The idea will always remain the same. For part D, let us expand this first. I have x squared plus 8x minus x minus 8 is equals to 1 minus 6x. And then we simplify everything. As usual, we want to achieve something that looks like 6a. The reason why part A is the easiest one is because they are already in the form that you want to start with. So we make this look something like A, where the x squared term and the x terms are on the left hand side and the constant term is on the right hand side. So I have x squared, this is plus 7x, this negative 6 move over, plus 6x is equals to 1 plus 8. So now I have, right? Now this equation looks something like part A. So we can start completing the square. As usual, we move down the constant term first. We can ignore the constant term. We just want to settle this. I will definitely have my x. What do I do to this 13x? Okay, because of the 2ab, remember the formula, the 2ab formula, right? So this has been doubled because of the number 2 in the formula. So let's recap the formula again. See, whatever I have here has already been doubled by this 2. Okay, so 13x is 2ab. So if I want to do a reverse engineering, it means that this is 13 over 2. Let's verify this. For those of you who are still not convinced, let's expand this. I get a squared, right? A plus b squared, so I get a squared plus 2 times ab. Okay, so that's how I get my x squared and 13x. See, I get back my x squared and 13x. But don't forget, in this expansion, you will still have a plus b squared, which is 13 over 2 squared. So this is the extra term that you don't want. So at the back, you minus away 13 over 2 squared. Still equals to 9. So this expression is exactly the same as this. They are just different in the way they look. So we're almost there now. Now this is the constant term that I don't want, so I move it to the right hand side. So I have 9 plus 13 over 2 squared. Okay, and then you just do as how we did in part A. You make x a subject of formula by square rooting on both sides. Don't forget there's a plus and minus value to this. Let's do part E. X minus 4 squared equals to 25x. Please do not square root at this step because 25x, there's no way you can square root this. Okay, you don't know what is square root x. You're going to make it more complicated. Besides, we are supposed to complete the square. So as usual, we want to make it look like part A. So let's expand everything first. A minus b squared is a squared minus 2ab plus b squared is equals to 25x. So I know that my 25x wants to be on this side and my constant term wants to be on the other side. So I minus away 25x on both sides. And I minus away 16 on both sides. That's how I get this. Okay, although I use the term like move over there, but you should know that the underlying operation that we did was to minus 25x on both sides. Therefore, there's no more 25x here, but there's a minus 25x here. That's how I get to this side. So what is left is, by now you should know that the sign will remain. If this is minus, this will always be minus, right? And then I have x squared. So that's how I got my x here. Again, the coefficient here, you halve it. And then you will expect that there is a extra term if I expand this, which I want to minus away, which is this is the extra term that I minus away. So you minus away, it still equals to negative 16. And then I have equals to negative 16 plus 33 over 2 squared. So therefore, x minus 32 over 2 is equals to square root negative 16 plus 33 over 2 square, or negative 16 plus 33 over 2 square. And then don't forget to, in order to find x, my x is equals to whatever in the square root plus 33 over 2. There's this minus 33 over 2. So you need to add it over, or x is equals to whatever in the square root plus 33 over 2. And then key in your calculator and express in 3SF. The last question now, 3F. If you think that, okay, this looks like they completed the square form, I want to root both sides, I can get 3 minus x on this side, but what is square root negative 1? Your calculator is not able to give you an answer for square root negative 1. That means this question, so no solution for x. What does this mean? If we link it to what we have learned previously in the graph, it means that this is a, okay, if I expand this, this is negative x squared, so that means it's a frown, and my graph most likely look like this. So what does this mean? It means that your graph is not touching the x-axis, so no real roots. One thing you need to take note here is it doesn't mean that there is no answer for 6F. It just means that the answer now is there is no solution for x and there's no real roots. You have to specifically write down this statement here, no solution for x, because this equation has no real roots.